Hi, today I am talking about my struggle with maths. I'll pop a link below to the blog, or vlog should I say, where I talked about growing up with a disability, and in that I talked about how I missed out on quite a lot of school because I had to have operations. I was off sick quite a lot and I missed a lot of sort of my important early learning. So one of the things I've never really learned properly is maths. I can't explain to you how bad I am at maths. Being honest, I don't know many of my times tables. I know a couple of them. I can't add or subtract. I can't even say subtract. I can't add or subtract unless it's sort of easy numbers like ending in 5s or 10s. And actually it's quite embarrassing. I've been to job interviews, sort of interviewing for an administrator, where they've asked me to perform small calculations, petty cash for example, and I haven't been able to do it. And not only can I not do it, it also panics me to the point where I cry and I just completely break down. It makes me so anxious even thinking about maths. It makes me really tense. Even we watch 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown on Friday nights, and when they get to the numbers round, Neil we pause the TV to do the maths, to do the calculation part, and I feel under pressure. And if Neil sort of goes, I've got it, because he's a genius at maths, and I can't get it, and then the more I can't get it, the more frustrated I become, the more anxious I become, because I feel really stupid. I'm really stupid because I can't do maths. I can't add up, I can't take away, I can't multiply, I can't divide. I am rubbish at it, and it really upsets me. I failed GCSE maths 3 times. I got a D each time, and after the 3rd time I was able to leave school anyway at the end of A-levels, and so I came away without a GCSE in maths. It's never really affected me. I've always been able to get a job, so it's never really been a problem. And when I did my NVQ2 in business and administration many years ago, part of the criteria is that you must do a key skills in communication and numbers, which is the equivalent of maths qualification. So I did both of those at the time, got a qualification in them to enable me to do the, well, not apprenticeship, but to enable me to do the qualification. And then when I did business and administration level 3, which is a lot tougher, more in depth, I had to do the key skills in maths again, and the maths was a lot harder. And I can remember sitting to take the test, and there's no real pressure in the test. It's sort of me and my instructor, as it were, in a room. It's timed, it's a sealed paper, you open it, you do the exam, it's done, you're gone. I couldn't even start the exam. I was crying so much. I got myself into such a state that we had to rebook the exam and do it another day. When I eventually passed, I didn't pass by much, but I passed. I got the qualification, and it's the equivalent of, I think, a B at GCSE maths, which is an achievement for me, really. I managed to do it, but since that point, which was probably 5 years ago, I haven't thought about maths since. I haven't wanted to do maths, and it still frightens me having to add things up. If I have to work out change for someone, which isn't very often, or if someone gives me change and I'm told to check my change, I can't. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't add it up. So having a disability has really impacted on that part of my life. I've never really learned the maths. I've never caught up with the maths. I've never wanted to learn it because I'm so afraid of it. I recently started seeing a counsellor, and whilst talking to her in a session, we talked about my struggles with maths, and she suggested that I go back to the beginning and I start again. I learn maths again from the start. Now the start from me is primary school. It's year 1, it's year 2. It's that first maths that you learn when you're very young. So I was apprehensive at first because I am a grown-ass woman. Not that you can tell, but I am an old lady. And having to admit that you are so bad at maths that you need children's maths books to get you through is embarrassing. But we bit the bullet, and I eased the pain of buying maths books by buying some regular books as well. Sort of a carrot and stick approach to learning. And I picked up some easy learning maths books. This is one of them. This is Collins' Easy Learning Mental Maths. I picked up an addition and subtraction one and a couple of other slightly harder ones at the same time. These, as you can see, are for ages 7 to 9, which embarrassingly is perfect for me. I had a quick flick through. I had a quick look in the shop in Waterstones at some of the maths inside the book. Some of it frightened me quite considerably. There are fractions in here and sort of really difficult, what I would class as really difficult maths, to be honest with you. Just for example, there are fractions and decimals. That was something I always really struggled with. I was really bad at that. So some of the stuff in here for me is really scary. It's really scary maths. It's really hard maths, and I'm impressed that at ages 7 to 9 children can do this. Which seems a really silly thing to say, because should I be able to do this? Is this something that should just come naturally to me? Because it really doesn't. So anyway, the pages are like paper. It's all really bright and colourful. The idea is the parent sort of sits with you and teaches you how to use the books. There's instructions if you are looking for these for your children. I would highly recommend them. They're really easy to learn from. There's like a how to teach from the book. There are little games, there are puzzles, there are tests to do to see what your progress is in the books. Everything's really bright and colourful, and the answers are in the back, which is always a lovely bonus. This book was £3.99 and they were on offer for, I think you could buy them 3 for 2, which is always a bit of a bargain. So I started this one earlier. I just had a quick, I opened the first page, just got down to it. I tried not to think about it. I tried not to worry, tried not to panic. I just tried to do what was in front of me. And the first page was a sequence of numbers. So you have to work out, first of all, what the sequence is and then fill in the missing numbers. So for example, this first one, you have to add a number each time. So I think I was adding by 3 each time on this first one. So I did it in pencil, just because then I can rub it out if I go wrong, which embarrassingly I did. And I've done 2 pages so far, and I started on the third earlier. When I saw the third page, I was a little bit frightened because this looks like complicated maths. It looks frightening, it looks scary, it looks like I'm not going to be able to do it easily. But I gave it a go. I started it. There's quite a lot of counting on my fingers going on. If I could have used a calculator, I definitely would have, but I suppose using a calculator defeats the object. And what I would like to do is be able to do basic easy maths in my head without getting pent up and worried. So it's not so much that I want to be able to do the sums, it's that I don't want to get stressed that I can't do them. So if I learn this, and I learn it enough so that when I see a maths problem of whatever kind, even if it's working out how much something's going to cost in a shop, I don't have to panic. I can just think, I know how to do this, I don't need to get stressed, and I can work it out in my head. that's the goal really. The goal is to not be frightened, to not be panicked, to not feel bad, to not really be embarrassed that this is something that I can't do. I'm sure I'm not the only person that can't do maths, and you hear lots of statistics about adult literacy, less so about numeracy. So I'm sure I'm not the only person in this boat, and I'm sure I'm not the only person whose disability has affected their learning in the long run. I'm quite lucky in that I can read, I read and write really well, so I've never needed really to show off my lack of math skills, because I've always been able to wow people with my words and just insult them so that I don't have to do maths. But I think I've come to a point in my life where I need to stop being afraid of maths, and to stop being scared of it. So I'm going to keep at it. I'm going to try to build myself up to sort of stronger puzzles, to harder things. I mean, I'm not looking to do formulas and long division really. I just want to be able to say that I am not afraid of numbers anymore. I'm like number 6, because 6 is afraid of 7, because 7, 8, 9. You have something that you can't do that you'd like to learn, maybe something that you feel you should have learned a long time ago, a skill that you don't have that you feel you should have. Are you learning it? Is it hard for you to learn? Has it been hard for you to start learning it? It was really hard for me to take the step to decide, yes, I want to learn maths, I want to embrace the fact that I can't do it. I want to get right back to the beginning and just really go for it to see if I can do it. And although I'm struggling, there's a lot of counting on my fingers involved, I'm a little bit proud of myself for doing it. So I'd like to know if you're doing anything that you're proud of. Get in touch below, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have a disability that you feel has held you back in some way, something that you haven't been able to do because of your disability? Get in touch below, I'd love to hear from you. That's it for this video. Hopefully you've got a little bit of an insight into my maths struggles. I'm gonna go and carry on with a bit more addition and subtraction before I lose the will to live. As always, you can find all of my posts at www.estellosaurus.co.uk. I'd love for you to subscribe and give my video a like, and I will see you soon. Bye!